If you could change something about yourself that would make you better at your job, make you more engaged with your family, and help you better appreciate the beauty of the world around you, all with just a couple of weeks of effort, I'll bet you'd do it. As some of you know, I recently made a major change for the better in my personal and professional life, and that change was to get my first set of hearing aids. Now, I was just making a decision for me personally to finally address some hearing problems, but I quickly found out that I was not alone in my struggles. Since mentioning my hearing aids online on Uncharted online a few months ago, I've been able to help a couple of my fellow Uncharted members, Stephanie Goss and Gary Beal, who are facing similar struggles. In addition, when I was at VMX in Orlando, I was approached by a couple of veterinarians just randomly that were sitting behind me and noticed my hearing aids in the lecture halls. And they said, I should have done something about my hearing loss years ago. I gave them my story, offered to help them, and since then, I've had that same exact conversation with multiple clients and friends and family members. And I started to think to myself, this is something pretty important, and maybe I can help people in some way. What I can't do in 10 short minutes, 10 relatively kind of short minutes, is tell you everything that you need to know about this problem, which affects 20% of our population, 1/3 of our population over 65 years of age, and is an important risk factor in dementia and depression. What I can do is tell you why I chose to address my hearing loss, give you some tips to get you started if you or someone that you care about is having the same problem, offer to help you if I can, and convince you that now is the time to take action. How did I damage my hearing? I damaged my hearing from a lifetime of exposure to lawnmowers and snow throwers and shooting guns and driving tractors on the farms that I worked on and barking dogs and 80s rock music like Foreigner and Journey and Boston, rock and roll! I'm 52 years old now, and I realize now that my hearing hasn't been great since at least my late 40s. And you see, this problem snuck up on me like a thief in the night, and I should have noticed it a lot sooner. And my inability to notice I was having this problem negatively impacted me and those around me. Now, I could hear pretty good in a quiet room talking one-on-one with another person, but I experienced greater difficulty in environments that had a lot of background noise. And I would often feel a sense of isolation. If I went to a party where a lot of people were talking at the same time, I'd often feel out of the loop or even stupid at times. And I'd find myself thinking, what are they all laughing about? I have no idea what this conversation is about. Did she just ask me a question? Maybe I'll just go in the other room and watch the football game by myself. And this would kill me because those who know me best know that I love a great conversation and I have an opinion on virtually everything. I'd always sit near the front in continuing education lectures, and now I realize that I was sitting in the front because I needed to read the lips of the speaker or figure out the words I was missing by the context or the body language or the information on the slides. And I'd often find myself leaning over and asking the person next to me what the speaker had just said. And at work, I was using all of these tricks to maximum effect. Veterinary hospitals with their hard surfaces, lots of voices, monitors, barking dogs and the like are challenging acoustic environments. And it was my team, and especially my surgery team, that actually brought to my attention that I needed to do something about my hearing. When we'd be intubating dogs in surgery and we're listening for leaks, I'd say, shut the radio off. And my technician, Jessica, would say, it's okay, I got this, I can hear just fine. And I would often misunderstand the things that they were saying to me, and sometimes this was hilariously funny, but it wasn't really funny. And then one day, Jessica said to me, I think you're having trouble hearing women's voices. Well, that's a problem if you're working in a veterinary hospital. And so I had to admit right there, damn it, I have a hearing problem. So at home, you know that place that you briefly go to when you're waiting for your next shift at work to start? I was realizing that this was affecting my family life. And my wife, Leslie, is smart, and she has lots of interesting and important things to say. And my children, Kara and Tyler, well, it turns out they got their mama's smarts. And so there's lots of great conversation to be had at the Frankie household if you can hear. And my family would get frustrated or even angry with me when I couldn't understand what they were saying. And my wife would say, "Are you listening to me?" And I would say, "Yes, but I'm not hearing you." But inside I'm saying, "I love you. You're important to me. Please don't be mad at me." My father, who passed away last May, had hearing loss from 43 years of working in a shop as a journeyman tool and die maker. And he used to like to watch the Detroit Tigers. And I would sit there watching the baseball game with him, and we'd have the volume on the TV cranked way up, and we'd practically screaming at each other. "What's the count? 3-2. 3-0? No, 3-2. And in the last couple of years, he actually got hearing aids, and it made a huge difference. And it struck me that the last 2 years of my father's life, it was me that couldn't hear him. And I regret each and every word that I missed from that great man. So I came to this conclusion: screw it, I'm getting hearing aids. Sure, I had the same concerns that all the people that I conferred with had. How will clients and coworkers perceive me if I'm wearing hearing aids? How will I use a stethoscope 20 times a day when I'm wearing hearing aids? How much do they cost? But no matter what concern I came up with, it wasn't greater than my concern for my family and my coworkers and my patients. So I made an appointment with a human ENT, and I got a medical diagnosis. And I found out that I had no structural abnormalities of my tympanum or my ear canal that would stop me from being able to hear. And he recommended referral to an audiologist. The audiologist I actually went to the very same day, and I got a hearing test that generated an audiogram. And I was told that I had tinnitus or ringing in my ears, that I was losing the ability to be able to hear high tones, that my left ear was worse than my right ear, and that I was having problems with speech clarity. And behind-the-ear hearing aids were recommended. Now, hearing aids are like boats. You can't find one that does everything you want it to do. And like most things electronic these days, hearing aids are actually packed with all kinds of really cool features. Some are rechargeable. Some hooked to your phone or your TV via Bluetooth. And many have apps for your phone to control the settings. The price of hearing aids is largely determined by the sophistication of the microchip and not so much by all the other features. Purchased from an audiologist, a top-notch set of hearing aids will run around $6,500 to $6,700 US, with the initial programming and some follow-up visits for tune-ups included. Purchased online, the exact same model will run around $3,700. Now, since only 40% of Americans have any insurance coverage whatsoever for hearing aids, this can be a big factor when you decide where to purchase. Add another $500 to $600 in for a top-notch electronic stethoscope and some headphones, and you'll be able to hear the heart and lungs better than you ever have in the past. From the first time you stick a hearing aid in your ear canal, you'll know it was worth the investment. Hearing aids have changed my life for the better in so many ways. I no longer have to read lips to understand what's going on around me. All my fears were unfounded. My clients have no issues with my hearing aids. In fact, they think my stethoscope is cool. I can hear better in restaurants and in meeting rooms, and it's refreshing not to have to ask for clarification all the time. I want the people around me to know that I think the things that they say are important to me, and now I can convey that. What's that is no longer my favorite phrase. So many times the things we have to do to improve ourselves are difficult or even daunting. This one's relatively simple, and I can help you. Just come and find me and talk to me. I would encourage you to take action now if you or someone that you care about is experiencing hearing loss. Don't wait any longer. Let technology help you make better sense of the world around you, because running away from your problems is a race that you will never win. Thank you.